you're now involving yourself in starting an agroecological CSA farm. So I'm just wondering also, what has been your experience about starting it? I mean, how do different farmers responded to it? What was their first reaction when you shared with them this particular idea of starting a CSA farm? Was it something that they have had before? Was this a new concept? Did they think that it can actually work? So help us get into their minds and try to give us that perspective. What was their reactions when you're sharing them to this particular CSA farm?
Yeah, so every CSA farm usually works with one or only a couple of farmers, right? And in January, I was talking to some young university graduates, agronomists, Fred and patients, and I dropped the idea of starting a CSA basically because I was looking at healthy vegetables, also for my own consumption, because the things I can find here in the market are quite doubtful in terms of quality and production methods, let's say. And only 10 days after they sent me a business plan, and then we started working on that business plan, fine-tuning it, looking for our first members, and in June we started our first field activities. Actually, they did. I'm just trying to support them in the setup and management of this project. Tomorrow we actually have our first, our third member meeting, but it's quite a critical moment in time because we need to renew the membership fees for the next harvest season, and it's definitely a challenging endeavor, but it's great to move forward. And what we're actually doing, and that's really important, is that we're reshaping the relationships around food production and consumption. No? Usually, it's the resource poor farmer that is carrying all the burden and risks that are associated with costs of production, bad harvests, pests infection, and so on, infestation, and so on. And now we're moving all or most of that risk to the consumers, to the community. So that the concept is basically to prepay your harvest share. We now paid first time for half a year of production on our farm, still running until end of November, that first harvest season. And by doing so, we also share the risks of having a bad harvest, but also the fruits of that harvest, right? So if okra or the beans worked out really well, we'll have more of those in our weekly basket. If tomatoes were a complete failure because of difficulties with our soil that needs to be regenerated, or pest infestation and so on, then we'll have no or very little tomatoes in our basket, and that's part of agriculture, right? And so we're trying to bring that reality also closer to the consumers again.
The thing that I like about this particular concept is that it's helping farmers to sort of decentralize that particular risk, because in normal circumstances, if, for example, you mentioned beans don't do well, the farmer just slides with it. I mean, absorbs all the risks. But in this particular time, I mean, when you're involved in this CSA, that risk is spread across all members, sort of decentralized in a way, which I can imagine could help keep a lot of farmers afloat as well. So, interesting concept, and it's great to see that it's actually working on different contexts, and also working in a very remote part of Africa, which is very, very much exciting. How easy it can also be replicated to different parts of Africa as well.
Yeah, definitely. For me, it's a very hands-on and grateful experience to be involved with those young people, Fred and patients, also actually facing that difficulty, of finding a job, and now really being involved in this very beautiful community project.